So hello my dear friends, welcome back. Welcome to your channel Cooking Astrology. And today in this video, I'm going to discuss one of the most interesting topics in Vedic Astrology. And this is with regards to the best and the worst planetary alignments in Vedic Astrology. Here I'm going to discuss with regards to all 9 planets, including the Rahu and Ketu axis as well. And you can see the 2 blank charts. So we are not taking into consideration the zodiac sign placement in this particular video. We are only going to be judging the planets based over the house placements. The reason why I'm only taking the house placement into our consideration, because in the longer duration of the time, planets tend to adjust according to the zodiac sign energy, and then they have the capacity to give the results according to the house placement. So if for example you are having Jupiter posited in the 10th house in the sign of Aries, in the initial stages of your life this Jupiter is going to be behaving like the Aries Jupiter. But as soon as the time passes on, Jupiter tends to mature and this is going to adjust with the 10th house energy. So this is just Jupiter in the 10th house, and Jupiter is going to give the results according to this house placement rather than which zodiac sign this planet is posited in. Same thing also applicable to the planetary conjunctions actually. 2 planets are conjunct in the chart. Suppose Jupiter, let me give you some second example. Suppose Saturn is posited in your first house along with Mars. They both are brutal enemies. They don't like each other. But they are going to fight with one another only up till these certain ages, specifically up till the age of 28 and 36. 28 is the maturity age of Mars and the 36 is the maturity age of Shani. So after that, these planets have the capacity to adjust themselves according to the house energy and also whichever planet they are actually going to be posited in. Now, one more interesting thing. If you don't want to watch this video, I request you to please not to watch it actually. Because there might going to be chances when I'm going to be writing planets in the worst placement, there are highly likely chances few planets might going to be appearing in your chart. So if you will not be able to handle the negative aspect of Vedic astrology, then I request you to not to watch it. Because Vedic astrology is a subject which is actually covering the 8th house like scenarios also that have to deal with the death of a person. 8th house along with the 6th house astrology is also dealing with the accidents, Akal Mrityu. Astrology is also dealing with curses. Okay, so this is that kind of a esoteric subject which is having dealings in both positive and the negative directions. Okay, as an astrologer also it becomes sometimes very difficult for me to make such videos, and I've been thinking for more than past 1.5 years for actually making this video or not, and not thinking about towards like whether to make this video or not, but to be more precise, I'm thinking about the planets, like what planets are actually going to be the best and what are going to be the worst. Every planet, although they are having certain significance associated with them, so it's not necessary if I'm saying Sun is having the best placement in maybe this house or that house. So it's only going to be considered as the best placement. There are going to be possibility where the planets are going to be having the second best placement as well, or maybe the third best placement. It also differ from astrologer to astrologer actually, depend upon their knowledge, depending upon the expertise of the astrologer. And even if you are a beginner in Vedic astrology, you might not be able to agree with me over the planets which I'm going to put in the best and the worst column, because as an astrologer also you are going to be having different set of experiences when you are doing Vedic astrology, specifically if you are a full-time Vedic astrologer. Now I tend to do all the consultations by myself. Okay, I'm not working with a team or any other person. I sincerely look into astrological charts by myself, and I'm the only person who is attending the client, or I'm offering you the consultations. So I'm also hearing your pain and sufferings at the same time. Okay, many people cry in front of me because of certain planetary alignments. Many people tend to find rejoice as well. Although in most of the time, if you are a Vedic astrologer, it's only 10% of the chances the people that are not having any complaints in their life, they will come towards you, and they are going to not approach Vedic astrology as a predictive side, but they tend to approach Vedic astrology more as a learning subject. Okay, so they are going to be approaching from the learning angle rather than the predictive angle. Most of the time people go to astrologers towards the predictive astrology. And even if you are stuck at some point in your life, that is also the time it means you are going towards the astrologer. It's just like you are going towards a doctor for normal checkup, and then if you are finding something happening inside your body, similarly something happening with your marriage, career, relationships, childbirth, money and wealth, even sometimes legal matters also, then this is the time where you are eventually going towards the astrologer. So on daily basis also, I'm doing the consultations from past more than 7 years, and daily basis without a break. Okay, so based over my experience, I'm going to create a picture up there. Now once again, I request you, if you not be able to take the negative aspect of Vedic astrology into your life, please do not watch this video. But I request you, if you are watching this video, try to take it from the mature standpoint of view, because I told you Vedic astrology is having both the sun and moon. So the light phase is also there, so darkness is also going to be there. Okay, so let's continue our journey. So I'm not going to start in the chronological order in this video. In most of the videos I will go by sun, moon. In this way, in this video I'm going to be starting with the Rahu and Ketu axis first of all. Okay, so first of all, let's try to understand the worst side of Rahu and Ketu axis. Okay, or maybe Ketu up there or Rahu up there. So this is the 4th house and this is the 10th house. Anytime you are having Rahu in the 4th or Ketu in the 10th, or Ketu in the 4th or Rahu in the 10th, this is actually going to be considered as the worst case scenarios in Vedic astrology. I personally call these people as trapped soul. Trapped, okay? You understand what is a trap? So these are the trapped souls. And they are trapped between materialism and spirituality. They are trapped between choosing the family or choosing the career. They are trapped between making decisions in their life. Because what is happening up there, even for example, first of all, let me take a Rahu up there and Ketu in the 10th house. If Rahu is going towards the 4th house, or even Ketu if it is in any of these houses, this is the mother and this is the father's house. So Rahu and Ketu axis, and they are also going to be retrograde actually. Now 4th house is mother and the 10th house is the house of your father. Anytime Rahu and Ketu axis coming in the fatherly and motherly axis, first of all, this actually have the capacity to destroy the significance of the parents. I mean to say destroying the significance, I'm not here talking about the financial support system from the family, which you are going to be receiving in the early stages of your life. I'm talking about the emotional turmoil. So there is no any emotional connect with this placement. And that is the reason, if there is no emotional connect which is present inside you, as soon as you grow older, many events, many important events, specifically like marriage, they are actually getting totally disturbed. Forming a meaningful relationships with other person, they are actually getting disturbed. Not be able to decide what sort of money and wealth is necessary for me, or what kind of wealth is necessary for me, or up to what extent I need to go towards materialism, or when to stop actually. this is also a turmoil in front of these people. Even if they go towards spirituality, they don't know up to what extent I need to go towards spirituality. It's a total imbalance. And here they are not actually fighting with the outer world. These people are fighting with their inner self, with their inner thoughts, with their inner voices. So this is the worst placement, Rahu and Ketu in the 4th and in the 10th. And I have even given you explanation why this is considered as the worst. Okay, this is the pure emotional turmoil of a person, and it's the total imbalance inside the person's life. And it's going to be the balance and imbalance which you are going to be not only experiencing on yearly basis, on daily basis, you need to deal with this Rahu and Ketu axis. Quadrants, specifically these houses, they are not meant for the malefics, specifically 4th house like Rahu and Ketu. Although Rahu in the 10th have the capacity to give you aggression towards the career and these kind of things, but look into the other side, that is Ketu. So Ketu in the 4th house is actually going to be detaching you. Total detachment is going to be seen with this placement, and people with this placement also tend to feel suffocated from inside, mental suffocation, like they will not be able to express their thoughts, their emotions in front of other people. So this is that placement. Okay, now when it comes to deciding the best placement, this is the best placement. Why? Because Rahu in the 6th house is actually giving you power to deal with the day-to-day difficulties of the life, and at the same time Ketu in the 12th house will also helping you to manage the spiritual aspect of the life at the same time. Although one more thing, with this Rahu in the 6th house, your life is not going to be easier. It's going to be the toughest life, but God is going to give you enough power and energy where you will be able to handle the energy of Rahu in the positive way. Specifically in the 21st century, in the Kali Yuga in which we are living in, Rahu tend to perform exceptionally well in this house and Ketu in the 12th house. Now here, I'm not splitting the axes actually. I'm not saying here Rahu perform well in this house and Ketu perform well in the Lagna. I'm actually taking the whole axis in my consideration. Similarly in the worst part and in the best part as well. Okay. Next, our dear planet Saturn. This is the most controversial and the challenging placement of Saturn, that is in the 12th house. And the Saturn in the 12th house, you need to actually bow in front of this Graha. It's like bowing and you are begging to this planet, like, please forgive me. And this is the placement where people tend to cry a lot. One more interesting thing I would like to add on here. Whenever you are judging the placement of a Shani in the horoscope, not only look from the natal birth chart, try to look its placement from the moon chart also. So even if we are plotting the moon chart here, if your moon is there and Saturn is in the 12th, this is actually the most deadliest placement of the Shani to be in. I'm not saying Saturn in the 12th house is not be able to give you money, monetary benefits or these kind of things. I have seen millionaires or billionaires with this Graha in the 12th house. Okay, it's not a question over the money and wealth part here, but here I'm actually discussing with regards to the proper balance of a life. Because Saturn in the 12th house actually represents a very heavy, extremely heavy karmic baggages which are actually present in your life, and which you are carry forwarding because of the family, because of your lineage, and these karmic baggages, they will eventually going to be cultivated to the next lives. This is also the worst placement because you have to deal with legal cases and litigations at the same time, specifically in the 12th house. If you want to individually watch the planetary videos, you can go to my playlist section and you can simply type Saturn in the 12th house in Vedic Astrology and you can watch that video. This will help you to generate more clearer understanding why Saturn in the 12th is not considered as the best placement. Okay. Now look here. By far I will tell you the best placement of Saturn. Now, first of all, in my mind at the time of me actually deciding, okay, where I should give the Saturn the best placement or where Saturn tend to feel very, very happy in the chart. But I will tell you one very important thing here. Anytime your Saturn is actually posited into the 9th house, this is going to be by far one of the best placements of Shani to be in. Best placements. Or you can consider it as a neutral placement. Neutral means neutral. Every planet in certain houses actually have the capacity to give certain positive or certain negative results. But Saturn, particularly in this house, in the 9th house, it's a neutral graha. Neutral means Shani is not actually going to be giving the first of all best placements anywhere it is posited in the chart. In the Kalpurusha Kundli or in the like specifically for Aries ascendant chart, Rishi Prashara have calls Shani as a pida. Pida means the pain of a person. So anywhere in the chart Saturn is posited, Saturn is going to be bringing pain from that particular area into your life. It may be Saturn is posited in the 4th house, so pain is coming from your mother, homeland, family. Saturn in this house, 5th house, pain is coming for the children, not obtaining children, these kind of things. Even second best placement is going to be here, because here Saturn is going to be totally independent of the thoughts of other people. Although still this placement of the Shani have the capacity to bring immense sufferings because of your siblings. Not in the initial stages, maybe as soon as you grow older into the later stages of your life. But still in this 3rd house, in the 21st century where we are living in, this is first of all the Upachya house. And planets in the Upachya houses tend to grow much better with the passage of time. And even if in your Bhava Chalit chart, if you don't know what is Bhava chart, at least go again watch the video of Bhava Chalit chart in my YouTube section, okay? Even in the Bhava Chalit chart, if Saturn is moving from the 4th to the 3rd or 2nd to, this is actually going to be considered as 50% of results you can consider from the Bhava Chalit chart as well. So whenever you are watching this video, I request you to not only take D1 chart, natal chart into your consideration, I request you to take Bhava Chalit chart into your consideration at the same time, okay? And this is the neutral placement. Neutral mean Saturn actually have not to say much when it's in the house of a guru, okay? This is where Saturn is becoming strengthened also, but it's more of a neutral, okay? I will still not consider it as a best, but neutral placement, okay? Next, let me come to Shukra. Shukra is our dear planet Venus in Vedic astrology. Now, this is the worst placement of Shukra to be in. Worst placement. Worst placement only from relationship and marriage point of view. But if you are a spiritual person, if you are an adhyatmic person, if you are dealing with the esoteric subjects like Vedic astrology, numerology, palmistry, occult sciences, this is the best. But if you are looking from relationship and the marriage perspective, this is the worst placement. Because when Venus is in getting touch with the element of the 8th house, that is where Venus tends to create a total disturbance into the relationship aspect of a native. And if one aspect of the life, and the main aspect, as I told you, relationship and marriage, if it is not balanced, okay, then this have the capacity to create or impart negativity into the other areas of the life as well. This will eventually going to shake the foundation to the core. And I will tell you the positive side of this Venus. If your Venus is in this house, you are going to leave some legacy. And the reason why you were born in this universe, it's not a normal reason like a normal person. You need to do some sort of a valuable contribution towards humanity. That is the reason God have blessed you with Venus in the 8th house. Because here you are also going to be experiencing many esoteric things. Many things like tantra, or like things which are beyond your imagination. you are going to be experiencing. Kundalini awakening, these Shaktis also. Negative, positive Shaktis you are going to be experiencing. Because Venus with that 7th aspect is aspecting your 2nd house also. So this combination is also giving you the Vak Siddhi. Vak Siddhi simply means you have the capacity to bless someone and even to curse someone. Okay. But Venus in the 8th house is the very Pidit Avastha of this Graha. Like Venus tend to eventually feel the normal sensations in the much greater way. So this is the worst placement of Shukra to be in. Now when it comes to the best placement, Shukra in the Lagna tend to perform exceptionally well. But only if this Graha is without any affliction. Affliction means no involvement of malefic Graha or Rahu and Ketu axis up there. Without any affliction, if untouched Venus is in the Lagna, this is the best placement. Because Venus in the Lagna, first of all, going to give you a good physique, good knowledge, and Venus actually have the capacity to create a balance into your life. And this is the best placement for Venus to be in. Although one more important thing, Venus exalted in the 12th house. Okay, you might be considering the exaltation of the Venus is the best, or Venus controller of the 7th house, so 7th house is also the best. I will tell you one simple thing here. The reason why Venus in the 7th is not the best placement, because this is destroying the significance. It's the Karka Bhavo Nasho. Venus in the 12th house, you are always sitting on the giving end actually. Okay, you keep on giving love, care, affection, support towards other. Very difficult for you to receive these things back into your life. Although if your mindset is programmed in such a way, okay, I'm happy with the giving end, it's best for you, but still, this is the best placement of Shukra to be in the chart. Reason why Venus is not, I have not given the money and wealth houses also. In the 11th house of Upachya, Venus tend to lose its energy over the passage of time. So after certain ages, after the age of 38 and 40, it's not going to perform very well. In the 2nd house, this is going to create many family problems. So one aspect of your mind is going to be done dealing with the family. Okay. Next, let's try to understand our dear planet Jupiter in Vedic astrology. Now you can guess first of all, okay, you can guess where I'm actually going to be writing the Jupiter in the horoscope, or you can also guess the best placement actually. Because if you are having your different approaches towards the Vedic astrology, you are also humbly invited to share your opinions, your views and your thoughts with me. Okay. Now the worst placement for Brihaspati to be in the 7th house. This is the worst case scenario for Jupiter. Guru, whenever is in the 7th house of Libra, Guru tend to feel first of all totally lost, out of the realm Brihaspati. Like Brihaspati not know how to perform, how to actually perform in the Libra energy. Because Guru is not a negotiator first of all. Guru don't like the places like the 7th house where that have to deal with relationships, marriage and these kind of things. Because in the 7th house you are creating the bondage. Maximum bondages are coming from 7th house. 7th house is also other people, any other people where you are interacting with them on daily basis. So whenever Jupiter is in the 7th house, it means you need to interact with many other people, and Jupiter don't want to gossip up there. Jupiter don't want to disturb its adhyatmic or the spiritual progression, and that is the reason in the 7th house, this is even the worst case scenario than the debilitated Jupiter. Debilitated Jupiter still is the best, or only going to lose its moral up to some extent, but Brihaspati when it goes up there, it's actually going to be the most disturbing thing in Vedic astrology. And this is also the Karka Bhava Nasha of the marriage part. Relationships and the marriage angle, it's not going to be an easy walk for you people. Although depending over the zodiac sign placement, results are going to be changing up to minor extent, because not everyone who is watching my video, they are beyond up till the age of 48 or 58 onwards. My core audience is going to be between the age of 25, 35, 40 years of age. So this scenario might going to be changing over the zodiac sign, but still I will tell you, this is the uncomfortable position for Guru to be in. Okay. Apart from this thing, there is second worst scenario for Brihaspati. That is the third house. Now, this is the Maran Karak Sthan of Brihaspati. Jupiter tend to feel death up there. Still the problem is it's a Gemini and communication. Anything that is disturbing the spiritual progression of a Jupiter don't tend to feel that energy more comfortable. This is also the house of presentation, mass media, journalism, social media, networking sites where you are showing your personal life in front of other people. Jupiter don't like to do that kind of a thing. Because this is the Guru Tattav, and Guru Tattav in the third house. Third house is also the Veller. Okay, you need planets like Mars up there, maybe Sun up there, or maybe some malefic planet up there, so that they can exert the energy to fight with someone. Jupiter is not a fighter. Jupiter don't want to fight. Okay, Jupiter is a teacher, it's a Guru. So Guru have no need to fight with anyone. Even Jupiter actually have the capacity to, because of its knowledge actually, okay, heavy knowledge. Many demons, they bow in front of Jupiter. Like, okay, Gurudev, we are bowing in front of your knowledge and we are touching your feet actually. But still in the third house, Jupiter don't like his feet to be touched by the unpure or the impure souls actually. Because that is where Jupiter is the purity. And if the pureness or the purity of the Jupiter is getting disturbed, first of all by some mass gatherings, the purity is getting disturbed actually. Because it's not a pedestal, it's not a stage where you are standing like a king and you are giving the lecture and everyone is listening. No. Here you are sitting with all the normal people. So Guru's knowledge is not going to be performed well in these houses. This is also the placement where we can call it as a Vinash Kale Viprit Buddhi. So when your negative time is arising or it's very near, then the very first thing that is going to be happening, your Buddhi, intelligence is getting destroyed completely. So there is a saying Vinash Kale Viprit Buddhi. Vinash Kal mean the worst case scenario for any person is only coming when your intellect is not working properly. Vinash Kale Viprit Buddhi. This is Vinash Kale Viprit Buddhi. Okay. Now let me come here towards the best placement for our Guru Graha to be in. Jupiter in the first house have the capacity to actually perform well, and Jupiter in the 12th house also have the capacity to perform exceptionally well. Many might be considering Jupiter in the 12th house is not a good placement, but in my personal experiences, by looking over thousands of charts, Jupiter tend to feel very comfortable because first of all, it's the element of Jupiter. It's the Akash Tattva. It's the lost realm, and where Jupiter tend to sit back, relax and do meditation, continuous meditation upon time. Okay. Even in the Lagna is the commanding center. It's the house of Mars actually. So this Jupiter is actually going to be becoming more entrepreneurial kind of a Jupiter. So this Brihaspati actually have the capacity to act as a very good guide, as an instructor, as a teacher, as a preacher. Even Jupiter in the second house, you can also consider the same, but still in the second, family aspect is disturbing. Okay, the reason why Venus and Jupiter I have not given these two planets best in the second because of family disturbances. It's better to have no planet in the second house than any planet sitting up there. Okay, empty house is best. Similarly with 8th house, it's better to have no planet in this axis, 2nd and 8th axis. If no planet is there, it's very, very good. Even if a planet may be positive, negative in this axis, it's actually going to create major disturbances up there. Okay. So Jupiter in the Lagna and in the 12th, it's actually going to be the best placements. Next, let me come to our dear planet Mercury, Buddha Graha. Now understand one very important thing here. Mercury in the 8th house, ME. This is the losing site of Mercury. Okay, this is pure andhakar. Intelligence is getting in the 8th house. You will not be able to showcase, present your knowledge. So here the presentation part is actually getting killed. Although this Mercury will have the capacity to lead you into the research, but Mercury don't want to do much research by sitting up there. Because this is actually your 3rd house, your self-effort is going into vain. And over the passage of time, what is going to be happening? Mercury will think like that, okay, there is no need for me to put some extra efforts now. Because I'm not gaining anything in my life, any positive, any negative, nothing is happening. So this is a stagnancy of a Buddha Graha. Stagnancy means you have attained a something level into your life and been very, very difficult for you to proceed into the forward direction. Apart from this thing, Mercury actually or usually have the capacity to even perform well in this house also. 6th house, where many planets tend to feel discomfort, Mercury have the capacity to actually perform well in these houses. Even in the Lagna also. But I will tell you, this is that placement where it's going to lose its sight actually. So suppose you are moving in a pathway and you are going into then some immediately wrong direction. So if your direction is wrong and your life will go towards that wrong direction. Lack of guidance is seen with this Mercury. Or maybe someone have misguided you in your life because of this Mercury. Okay. Now let me come to the best placement. Usually I will tell you, Mercury is the planet which represents the core intelligence of a person. And whenever Mercury is touching this house, now the reason why I have not given Mercury 5th house the best, because this is going to create problems in the progeny then. But whenever this Mercury in the 12th is coming in the 2nd house, first of all with its diplomacy, this have the capacity to maintain the cordial relationships among the family. This is also going to make you one of the wisest person in the room. Wisest person. You know how to speak, when to speak, what not to speak, even what to do and what not to do. In the 21st century, it's better for you to know what we do, but it's much better for you to also understand, okay, what things I need not to do. So Mercury clearly understand that part. This is also the best placement if you want to manage money, monetary, not only your money, but other people's money also. Capacity of a Buddha Graha to handle monetary energy is actually going to be exceptionally well in this house. This is house of your speech, communication, and in the 21st century, these things are also valued a lot. And Mercury, whenever coming in the upper portion of the Kundali, upper portion means this, even in this house also, it's also the upper portion. Any a time, upper portion is these houses. This is upper. These are upper and these are the lower houses. In the lower houses, Mercury don't tend to perform very well. In the upper portion of the charts, this, Mercury usually have the capacity to give good result. Even in the 3rd house also. Now understand one very important thing here. If Mercury is all alone in the 3rd house, initial stages of your life up till the age of 35 is going to be good. But after 35, declining factor is going to be happening. So it's better for you to have some other malefic graha with Mercury. It may be Sun or it may be Saturn, it may be Mars with Mercury. Then this have the capacity to support this graha into the much later stages of the life at the same time. Because what is happening now, Mercury is initially going to exert all the energy in the initial stages of the life in order to achieve everything in the fast manner. But when it comes to, it's like choti dod ke ghode. We call it as a like lambi dod ke ghode. Okay, so horses which are actually meant for the short races, and there are certain horses which are meant for the long races. This Mercury is the short race. Okay, Mercury is going to perform a short race, sprint actually in a good manner. But when it comes to like running a marathon, it's becoming difficult. If the malefic are actually coming, then Mercury tend to receive its support into the positive manner. Okay. Next, let's try to understand the Mangal Graha. MA and MA. These two, Mars in the 12th house and Mars in the 4th house, these are the very deadly placements of Mangal. Why these are deadly? First of all, Mars 8th aspect is falling over this house here, and 12th house is the house of your bed pleasures and expenditure. If your Mars is in the 12th house, in your entire life, even if I'm going to hand over you $1 million, you will not be able to save that money, because Mars energy is going to lose that money by one mean or some other mean method. This is also a very disturbing placement from the sexual relationships between you and your partner. It's going to exert a lot of heat energy up there, and that is where this is going to create a major disturbances into the marital bliss, which we also call it as a 4th house is also Sejasuk, yes. Okay, marital bliss actually. Marital bliss, or actually the happiness and the true satisfaction which you are going to be receiving after getting married with someone. In the 4th house also the same problem is there. First of all, Mars, it's becoming very, very difficult for the trine houses also to handle the energy of Mangal. This and this house also to handle the energy of Mangal. Even 12th house also not. Even in this house, even in this house. Mars energy is not tolerated by these houses. This is actually a warrior. Okay. And in the 12th house, warrior have nothing to do in the house of spirituality, first of all. Because here Mars tend to feel frustrated and tend to feel agitated. In the 4th house also same, the level of agitation and frustration is going to be very higher. So usually the tamasic energy of this Mars is getting accumulated inside you. This is also the placement where lot of mental agonies are going to be present inside you. Lot of negative things are in your mind. Lot of traumatic experiences are actually going to be present in your life with this Mangal placement. And this is actually going to divide the person from actual happiness. So you see the laughing Buddha is in the constant state of a happiness. Mars in the 4th and 12th will eventually going to remove that constant state of happiness. So there is going to be a constant state of unhappiness which is going to be present beyond your happiness also. Suppose if at one moment you are happy for something, but still there is going to be a nagging doubt, maybe like, okay, this happiness is a short-lived and how that part have happened. So this is the worst. Now the best placement of Mangal is this house. It's in the 11th house. This is where warrior tend to perform exceptionally well. This is the Mars, I will tell you, that first of all have the capacity to defeat all the enemies and all the competition. It's better for you to stay away from this person, because even the friendship of this person is not good, and enmity of this person is also not going to be good for you. This is the exceptionally goal-oriented Mars. Exceptionally goal-oriented. And it's very difficult. It's unstoppable Mangal. Here Mars is also not going to be listened to any other person. There is no command, no authority, nothing over this Graha. And you can find one of the most successful people that are having Mangal placement into the 11th house. Because this is the goal-orientedness of the Mangal. This is also that kind of a placement where Mars is actually going to be uphold the both karma and both the dharma. Because here Mars is coming, this is dharma, this is karma. So Mars is going beyond one step next. So it's taking or adding the energy of the karma bhav into that part as well. Even Mangal in this house is also very, very powerful. Exceptionally powerful. Undefeated. But the one negative instance with this Mangal is children. 8th house. But with this Mangal, 8th house is over the 6th house of enemies. So this is the piousness of the Mangal. One of the best placement. And this is the only house that can tolerate the energy of Mars. Any other house, even in the 3rd house also, I will tell you. 3rd house is also Upachya Sthan, and Mars actually have the capacity to perform well in the 3rd house. But the difficulty with the 3rd house is the lack of guidance. Mars don't know which path to choose. So with Mars in the third, you are going to be exerting one set of energy in this direction. Then you will think, okay, no, this is not the best, I will go to second. No, this is the third into that. And that is where Mars tends to dissipate its energy a lot. And third house is also actually going to be creating much more conflicting situations with other people. Mars is going to be fighting over the small things. But in the 11th house, this is the mature and the dignified Mars. And let's come to Chandra Graha. Many might be considering I'm writing moon up there, but I'm writing moon up here. 7th house moon. Now, why 7th house moon? If you are watching this video and if you are having a moon in the 7th house, you can mention below the comment first of all. And write down your journey in brief, your life journey. Now, when I actually dived into Jyotish in my initial stages, I read many books, watched many videos, and people are making moon worst in the 8th house. Like 8th house moon, it's the worst placement of this graha. It's a very deadly placement and many fear factors are going to be coming. But I will tell you, moon in the 8th still have the capacity to perform well. But in the 7th house, it's not going to perform well. And it's not like that moon in the 7th is not performing well in the initial or in the middle or in the last stages throughout the life. Because moon is your mind and it's in this other people hand. And that is where other people emotions, the environment is going to mold you completely. It's actually becoming highly receptive in the 7th house. One single negative thought have the capacity to destroy all the positivity inside you because of this moon placement. And this is also the disturbing placement from the marriage point of view. This is the Karmic Chandra. Karmic Chandra means the maximum amount of karma which moon is going to be binding with is the marriage and relationship aspect. And even if the moon is all alone in the 7th house, all alone or with any other planet, it's actually the crushing factor of the moon. So moon energy is actually getting crushed. Even in the 8th house, moon tend to do some meditation, some yoga, but moon in the 7th still not have that capacity or not that support actually. This is the lowest most position of the moon to be in. And that is also the reason this is the house of Libra where Shani is actually becoming exalted. And why the Saturn and moon is actually creating the wish yoga is because of this part. This is the mental poison. This is also going to create an anxiety, even depressive thoughts, and sometimes suicidal tendencies can also be seen this with Chandra. Because what is happening with this Chandra Graha, I told you, even if some negative part happened, you will not be able to tolerate that part, not be able to handle that part into the proper manner. Because moon here don't tend to dissipate its energy into either this or this direction. So the dissipation of energy of the moon is not there. It's actually becoming extra focused and extra concentrated. And that is difficult for moon. It's also very difficult for this Chandra to adjust with any other person. If there are 2 roommates, 3 roommates, with the moon in the 7th, you will not be able to adjust with any other person. And apart from this 7th house, there is second worst case scenario of Chandra. That is where then moon is in the Kemdrum Yoga. Kemdrum means no planet, physical planet setting 2nd and 12th house to the moon. Now Kemdrum is also the worst case scenarios. In certain cases, not I'm saying all the time. If suppose moon is up there and no planet is in these and these houses, this is known as Kemdrum Dosha. So if the Kemdrum of the moon is happening, it's actually going to be the worst case scenario. Although in certain sense, this actually have the capacity to create spiritual elevation into your life. But still I will tell you, this is the most deadliest placement of Chandra to be in. Now when it comes to best placement, there is no best placement for moon. Moon don't tend to perform anywhere in the chart very well. Moon in the 1st house, not going to perform well. In the 2nd, your mood, money is connected with your mood. Depending on upon your mood, you are gaining or losing money. In the third house, Moon tend to get totally fed up. In the fourth house, relationship aspect is totally spoiled. Fifth house, it's still not good actually. This is the house of Surya first of all, it's the house of your education also. Here I will tell you certain ghostly experiences can also be happening. In this house also, Moon tend to argue a lot. Like your mind is constantly occupied with other people, dealing with the litigations part, and your opinions and thoughts are not going to match with any other person. It's not good, I told you. Eighth house, it's good in one way but not good in the other way. Ninth house Moon also not good for marriage. 10th house Moon not good in the career. Even in the 11th house, fluctuations in the money part. In the 12th house also, it's the lost realm. So I'm not giving any placement for Moon in the best side here. Okay, because it's, in my personal experience, it's not performing anywhere well in the chart. Maybe down the line, if my experience change, then I will give you some best, but as of now, there is no best placement of Moon in this chart. Next is Surya Graha. Now make a guess where I'm going to write a Surya actually. It's actually this house. Whenever Surya coming in the front of the Kundali, it's the worst case scenario. Reason why it's a worst case scenario, first of all, this is going to destroy the significance of 5th house. Although here it's not aspecting your 5th house. Okay, it's not aspecting, but still this is going to be destroying the significance of the 5th house. Children or the lineage growth is going to be becoming very difficult for you people. Secondly, you will not be able to tolerate authority. Now, it's a good thing until and unless you have attained the power and status in your life. But in order for you to attain that power and status, other planetary alignments must need to support you. Alone Sun in the Lagna is not going to do anything, because the foundation is created by Shani and other planets also. So Sun is that lone warrior, lonely glory, whatever glories of the Sun in the first house. So Sun is telling its glory and no one is giving respect to this Surya. This is also disrespect in their own eyes actually. Why disrespect in their own eyes? Suppose their other planetary alignments are not supporting them and you born with the Sun in the first. You are having a big ego. What you are going to do with that ego if you are not having knowledge, not having power, money, status, anything. But if I will tell you other planetary alignments are supporting, then this might going to be good, but this is the worst case scenarios for the Surya to be in. Second thing is the health and the vitality aspect is going to suffer a lot. Specifically health. And if your physical health is not performing up to the optimal level, there is no use. Many might be considering it as the exaltation. It's the Aries actually, and Sun is exalted in the first house. No. This is although Aries, I will tell you, but this is the first house. And here, not only one significance, 4 to 5 significance, they are actually getting disturbed. Sun, suppose in your 7th house, only the marriage significance is disturbed. Other significances are still going to be protected. But when it in the Lagna, all the significances are actually going to be destroyed. So nothing in your hand with Surya in the Lagna. You need to here heavily rely and depend over the other people. And dependency is not a good thing. In the ancient times, they have written Sun in the Aries is best, is because during that time there are kings and they are having a big praja. And everyone is okay praising their kings and on that kind of a thing. But in the 21st century, it's not going to play in that way. Okay. This is the evolution of Vedic astrology. And yes, you have the complete power in your hand to even disagree with me over all these things. I'm not going to mind. Okay. Now let me come to the best placements of the Surya. First of all, Surya in the quadrants is not going to perform well, because it's the similar problem as that of planet Mars actually. Because I told you, Mars and Surya, they are heat. Quadrant are not meant for taking the heat or energy or radiations. Even the trines are also not. 10th house, I understand this is the capacity to take heat, but Sun is not going to be performing well in the quadrant, first of all, not even into the triannular houses. In the 12th house also, Sun is actually going to be performing average. Second house, not even, not the 6th, not in the 8th. It's actually the 3rd house, Surya. This is the house of your own will, your willpower, your courage. And that is where the maleficness of the Sun is getting totally absorbed. Now, I'm not saying this is the best placement of Surya, but still, as compared to other placements of Surya, this is the best. Even in the 9th house, I will tell you, Sun have the capacity to perform well, but this is going to give you some ancestral debt, Pitri Rin. So once you pay that Pitri Rin or ancestral debt, then your life is set with this Surya. But until unless Pitri Rin is there, you need to suffer for that part. 10th house is worst case scenario of Surya. You can watch my video of Sun in the 10th house, you will be able to gain more insights. So this is the best and the worst placements. Now, many of you might be able to agree or disagree with me, but I would like to hear your opinions. You can mention below the comments, first of all, the kind of experiences which you have dealt with if you are having these placements in these houses. And even if you find a small knowledge, you can also send me super thanks to this video as well. Even if you find or gained a small knowledge of Vedic astrology. Because any small contribution from your side will eventually help me to feel more motivated to make more such videos over the Vedic astrology. For consultations, you can contact me at my email ID. Any marriage, career, business or spiritual consultation. You can also subscribe my channel below and make sure to hit the like button also if you really enjoyed this video. You can also follow me on Instagram as well. And please share this YouTube channel with your friends and family members who are in love with Vedic astrology. And I'm going to meet you very, very soon in the upcoming video with some new topics of Vedic astrology. Till then, bye-bye and Hare Krishna.